Welcome, everyone, to This Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here today because we're going to be looking at something literally every single one of us navigates daily, yet so few of us have actually mastered. We're talking about the incredibly high stakes of modern digital communication. I mean, we all walk around with these supercomputers in our pockets, right? They can connect us instantly to anyone on the planet. But here is the really fascinating part. That exact same power to connect is also the power to completely unravel a connection in real time. Today, we're exposing a fatal flaw in how we text, and more importantly, we are going to transform this insight into a highly effective, actionable checklist for improving your digital confidence.
So consider this extreme reality. One text can destroy attraction instantly. It sounds kind of dramatic, doesn't it? But it really highlights just how fragile human attraction can be when it's mediated over a glowing screen. Think about it. When you're sitting right across from someone in a coffee shop, they can read your body language, your tone of voice, your relaxed posture, the whole shebang. But over a screen, you are totally stripped of all that context. All the other person has are the words on the screen, the frequency of those words, and the timing. That means every single message you send is carrying an enormous amount of psychological weight. Attraction isn't just about what you say, it's heavily influenced by how you deliver it digitally.
All right, let's jump right into section 1, the fatal mistake.
Now we have to be really clear here so there's no confusion. The problem is not a simple good morning. We need to clarify that the issue isn't the standard, polite, everyday texts we all send. Sending a good morning text, checking in, firing off a funny meme, these are perfectly fine. Seriously, these are the basic building blocks of normal human connection. Digital confidence does not mean absolute silence or, playing silly games. The fatal mistake isn't about the basic desire to communicate or being friendly. It's actually about a structural breakdown in the back-and-forth rhythm of a conversation.
The sheer weight of this number is honestly staggering. 15. The fatal mistake is sending 15 messages when the other person hasn't even replied to the first one. Just imagine the visual of that on a phone screen for a second. A giant imposing wall of green or blue text bubbles pushing all the way down the screen met with absolutely blank space on the other side. It is the literal definition of conversational asymmetry. When you send 15 unanswered texts, you aren't communicating anymore. You are projecting pure anxiety. You're essentially having a panic conversation with yourself right in front of the other person.
Which brings us to section 2, desperation kills mystery. So, the crucial point we need to understand is right here. Desperation kills mystery. Bombarding someone with an avalanche of unanswered messages reads as pure, unfiltered desperation. And in the dynamic of human relationships, mystery is the oxygen of attraction. Now, mystery isn't about being deceptive or hiding who you are. Mystery is simply the space between interactions. It's the unknown. It's that time when the other person gets to wonder about you, think about you, and actually anticipate your next move. When you send text after text, you just suck all the oxygen right out of the room. You leave absolutely no space for them to wonder about you because you are constantly forcefully inserting yourself into their immediate attention. And this reveals a pretty stark contrast. On one side, we have desperation, which is defined as actively chasing attention. On the flip side, we have confidence, which is defined simply as getting back to your life. The act of chasing attention is fundamentally unattractive because it signals that your whole world revolves entirely around their validation. But the quiet power of simply living your life, man, that is magnetic. It shows that you are a complete, whole person with your own priorities, your own passions, and your own time.
Let's move on to section 3, the digital confidence checklist.
Okay, here is your practical step-by-step checklist for digital confidence. Step 1, send the text. Notice it doesn't say don't text. You send the message you want to send. Boom. But step 2 is where the magic actually happens. Get back to your life. You put the phone down, you put it in your pocket, you go to the gym, you focus on your work, you read a book, you go hang out with friends. This emphasizes the absolute power of the pause. True digital confidence means letting silence do the work for you. And finally, step 3, stop chasing attention. This is a continuous mental check you have to do. If you find yourself staring at the screen, literally agonizing over the lack of those 3 little typing dots appearing, you are failing step 3. You must consciously stop the pursuit and trust the space you've just created.
It is absolutely vital to remind ourselves of the ultimate consequence of failing this checklist. If you're constantly chasing attention, you become less attractive. It's a harsh truth, I know, but it's a fundamental law of digital dynamics. It's basically the great paradox of the smartphone era. The harder you digitally chase someone, the faster they will run in the absolute opposite direction.
You aren't pulling them closer. You are actively pushing them away by suffocating the natural, healthy rhythm of the relationship.
And finally, Section 4, the final question.
I want to wrap things up by leaving you with a final, provocative question to chew on. Have you ever seen someone do this? Seriously, think about your friends, think about past relationships, or, if we are being truly, brutally honest with ourselves right now, think about yourself. Have you ever witnessed that desperate digital pursuit, that massive wall of 15 unanswered texts playing out in real time? Recognizing it out there in the real world is the very first step to ensuring you never make this fatal mistake yourself. Keep that digital confidence checklist handy. Put down the phone and get back to your amazing life. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I really hope it gave you a powerful new perspective to take with you.